When the sun sets over Seminyak, Bali, that's my cue to slow down. In my Bali retirement routine, there's one thing I never skip, my nighttime ritual. It's how I calm my nervous system and set myself up for a deep, steady sleep. For me, it's about simple self-care, mineral-rich, warm drinks, and creating a peaceful rhythm before bed.
Hi, I'm Debbie. I moved to Bali in 2018. Some of you are like, we already know this. But some of you are new to the channel, and welcome. And my mother moved out in 2023. So this video today is going to be sharing my nighttime ritual before I go to bed. I know, in another video, I shared my morning ritual and the calmness around it. And throughout the day, this Seminyak can get really busy, that and the other. So I like to wind down with a nice warm drink. And this drink actually puts me to sleep pretty easily. In fact, I can sleep a solid 7-8 hours without waking up, unless there's a little mosquito in my net. But other than that, I can sleep through pretty solid. And a lot of it has to do with the ingredients that are in this drink. The reason why I'm sharing it with you today is because I filmed this at night and it was terrible lighting. Because nighttime, everything's dim and it's got a yellow tint on the lights here, which make things really unappealing. Things look much better during the day. So I'm filming this during the day, but just so you know that I drink this before I go to bed. And bonus, I'm going to include in the link a PDF of some of the other warm drinks that I recommend, and it's all natural. So I'm going to do a little B-roll first of soil, which is where I get my ingredients. So let's go.
As I think back about how long I've actually been here, 7 years now, it took me at least a year to figure out where to get all the good stuff. You know, the pure teas, the calming herbs, the spices that actually taste like they came from the earth. So yeah, it took some time to find my sources. Because when I moved to Bali, there weren't many people on YouTube sharing where to get stuff. I used to spend my time working and finding clients and just all the time and effort it took just to make money, hustling, etc. I now take that time and I spend it on researching what all these foreign sounding ingredients actually do and how they support self-care in the most natural way. Peggy. The soil is one of my happy places in Bali. Bali's my happy place, but this is a happy place within the happy place. It's a tiny shop. They actually have one in Kerobokan and they have one also in Canggu. It's filled with teas and spices, extracts, basically everything I didn't know I needed until I saw it in a jar. That's where I get all my warm bedtime drink ingredients. It's like a candy store for people who are excited about ginger. I go telling myself I'll buy just a few things and I come out with enough herbs to open up my own apothecary. These ingredients help me sleep better than anything I've ever bought in a pharmacy. So I'm pinpointing some of the things that are in these ingredients, but most of them you can get anywhere where you live, I'm pretty sure. If not, you can order it online. If you're shopping at Soil, they have all that stuff, but they also have, wait, what is that? Teas. That look like they've been picked by a forest wizard. And they sell everything in 10-gram increments, anywhere from 70 cents to $2. So it's actually really affordable to try something new without committing to a huge bag of whatever this is called. Sometimes I'll just grab something totally new, take it home, after researching it, of course, and spend about $1 just to see how I react to it, whether it feels good in my system. It's a fun little experiment. But most days I stick to the simple things: chamomile, lavender, peppermint, the familiar ingredients I can count on, the ones that always bring me back to myself. But, simple things. Some of these teas that are warm drinks I'm sharing with you only need like 3 ingredients, like on average. So it's not like you need to find, some root somewhere. For the teas, I love the fact that I can just buy 10 grams of something. And then for the herbs, powders, spices, lentils, for example, all the grains, it's 100 grams. And then also, I actually love the fact that everything comes in this little paper bag. It's such a small thing, but it feels good to create less waste. Now, some of these prices, you'll say, well, that's expensive. Well, okay, let's put things into perspective. So this is raw honey. Raw honey is different than regular honey. The regular honey doesn't have any antioxidants. The raw honey does. And it's local, so it's coming from a good source. And then these butters are all homemade. They make it from scratch. And you know what the ingredients are? Nuts. That's it. Nothing else. Just nuts. Any of the specialty oils like avocado oil or almond oil or grapeseed, these are all imported. So you're going to be paying a lot more than you would if you were to buy the local oil, which I wouldn't buy the local oil. I like my olive oil or avocado oil. It's worth it for me to spend a little more to make sure that I am getting good fats, healthy fats. Self-care for me isn't about bubble baths or spa days. It's about the things I do every day to keep my nervous system steady. And sleep is the foundation of all of it. If I'm rested, I'm kinder, I'm clearer, I'm more patient, and I actually enjoy my life a whole lot more. Now off to go pick up my veggies from the Salad Man, which are organic and so tasty. As many of you know, I get my organic veggies from local farm up in North Bali. And it's part of my self-care. If you're in Bali, his contact is going to be in the description, so check that out.
So I'm going to have a list of other warm drinks, but this one is my favorite, and I make this one every night. Sometimes I'll switch it up, but it's called Golden Milk, and maybe some of you have heard it. But so let me just share with you, it's really easy. In fact, I don't use a lot of this because I don't want to have to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night. So I will drink this by 7 p.m. and that way I can, go to the bathroom before I go to sleep, and I don't have that urge to pee in the middle of the night. And some of you may be wondering, what, no nightlife? And I've had about 4 decades of nightlife, so I'm good now. I've been going out since I was 16. I'm going to clubs. So let's get the ingredients going. I'm not going to get too clinical or nutritional here, but I like the oat milk because it's creamier. Yes, there are carbs in there, but there's also fiber, which helps.
And pairing warm turmeric with a little healthy fat like oat milk or coconut milk helps even more because curcumin is fat soluble. So warmth plus fat equals better absorption.
We're going to be using turmeric in this particular drink. And turmeric needs time to go to all the areas it needs to go. Also keep in mind, we're not going to boil the milk. We're just going to make it, my laundry's done. Okay. We're just going to make the milk warm. We want it warm, not hot. So I'm going to do 1 cup of oat milk. Okay. And then the recipe calls for turmeric, cinnamon, and honey, and a little bit of black pepper just to help with the absorption rate. And the reason why I added these other 2, ginger and nutmeg, is just because the flavor makes it taste better. You can also add in baking type of spices like star anise, clove. I have a hard clove, and then cardamom, and then fenugreek is the other one. So, all right. So I'm just letting this on a low temperature. And let's see if we can get this down here. The recipe calls for 1 cup of milk, and then we're going to do a 1/2 teaspoon of turmeric. Just keep in mind that you need to keep it in a well-contained container, or keep it in the fridge because humidity gets to it and then mold happens. And then it also calls for 1/8 teaspoon of cinnamon. So this is the golden milk. That's why they call it golden milk, because the turmeric. Now, that and a pinch of black pepper. That's a pinch. I did 3. Okay. And then like I said, the recipe calls for, the last ingredient's going to be honey, but that's after everything's cooked. But I'm going to add a little bit of nutmeg because I kind of like mine a little bit spicier, but I'm going to do 1/8 you can use ginger, or I'm using fresh ginger. But anyway, okay. Stop, Bulu. I'm filming. Shush. Bulu, I'm filming. So, and the reason why I'm using fresh ginger is because it has more flavor to it. The ginger in the containers don't really have much flavor, in my opinion. That's me, though. So I grate a little bit of fresh ginger. Okay, and then the other thing is, the reason why we're warming this up is because the turmeric starts to get activated. We're gonna stir it now and kind of see. Now that's what makes it golden, is the color. Anyway, so you can see a little bit of steam coming off. That means it's warm. I'm not gonna boil it. I don't wanna boil it. I don't wanna burn any of the ingredients. So, and that's it. And I'm going to pour it in the cup. And by the way, I use a whisk to really get it mixed up, because if you use just a fork, there's clumps from the spices. So that is 1 cup. And then I am going to add, they say to use raw honey because that's where the antioxidants are. They're not in the regular honey. If you just get regular honey, there's not, all the antioxidants are gone. So you want to use just a dash of raw honey. I don't like things too sweet, so. And then here it is. Just enough spice, very creamy, and just nourishing. I can't recommend it enough. Also, this time of year is Christmas time. And if like during the warm season or holiday season, the cinnamon really brings out that feeling of Christmas, which I love. Okay. So check in the description below. I'm going to do a pin comment of a PDF of some of the other warm drinks that I like. Yeah. So let me know what you think. Have you tried any of these? Have you tried the golden milk before? Sometimes you can get it pre-made, but like I said, I like to do my own spices and my own fresh ginger. And the reason is so that because the flavor really comes out. Oh, and like I said, if you were to ever get spices here, put them in containers like this, like they're vacuum packed, or keep them in the fridge. So, or freezer. I have it, you should see, I have a whole thing of spices in the freezer. And sometimes it dilutes the flavors too. So, yeah, there it is. All right.